Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Around the time Mob of the Dead came out for Black Ops 2, there were a lot of rumors on YouTube and there was lots of speculation about the possibility that we would be seeing a zombified Max's head in either that map, Mob of the Dead, or one of the upcoming maps, so that would have been then Buried, or obviously Origins. Now, that zombie head never really materialized in the sense that people were supposedly forecasting. There was an image being spread around, and it was this sort of zombified head with spiky black hair and whited out eyes, and it just looked pretty creepy and pretty real potentially as well, but that's pretty much as far as it ever went, as far as I'm aware at least. I wasn't actually around when Mob of the Dead came out, and so I missed that entire map pack and all the teasers they did for it and everything at the time because I was focusing on exams for school, but I digress. The image of the head was floating around, but it never really floated into the map itself. Let's put it that way. However, just recently, a YouTuber called Sanadsk posted a video, and by the way, if I've butchered your name, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best here. I think it's Sanadsk, posted a video with the head seemingly in-game in Mob of the Dead, and that's what the gameplay on your screen right now is going to be. Now, there are a few things that I need to say here, because this, other than Sanadsk's video, is pretty much, to the best of my knowledge at least, the first time this has really been talked about with gameplay like this and I guess publicized and that sort of thing on YouTube. I haven't seen any coverage of this personally myself other than the video that Sanadsk made originally, and so I'm really excited to be able to show it to you guys, but I need to talk about exactly what you're actually seeing. Sanadsk has taken the model of the head from the game files and also taken the animations and put them together in a program called Milo, which is basically a modeling program for animations and things like that, in order to show you guys what the anims actually look like and what the head actually looks like if it's got the animations on it. So that's why it looks a little glossy and why the arm certainly looks kind of weird and round. It's because it had to go through Maya first in order for this to actually be possible, because he's just ripped stuff from the game files here. Also, I asked him if he'd found any sounds for the head, because that would be really interesting if it like talked to you or something. That would be so cool. Oh my goodness, imagine the possibilities. But unfortunately, when I was talking to him, because obviously as well, I asked for permission to upload the video and talk about it and stuff like that, because he originally posted his vid, but it seems like he wasn't able to find any sounds for it that looked like they matched when he looked through the files himself. That's why we have this kick-ass head with these kick-ass animations, but we don't have any kick-ass sounds on there right now. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is the potential story implications for what this head could be. And I should start off by saying that in the game code, this thing is not called Max's head or anything like that. It's called zomb_head or severed head or item head ZM. So it's not tied to any particular character. But I do think that we can make some assumptions about it, as Sanadsk said in his video, the most important of which being that it was created for the purpose of replacing the meat in cell block grief. You would get this head as an item instead of the regular zombie meat, and you would then throw it at other players. And that's why there's a throwing animation for the head itself. So we're assuming its purpose. But I want to talk about the fact that it looks so damn similar, certainly in my mind, to Richtofen. Those of you that have been around Call of Duty Zombies for a while and you're familiar with what the old characters looked like during Black Ops 1 will know that Richtofen has always had a sort of white patch or a grey patch on each side of his head. It's been a distinctive feature of his character for a long time now, really. For example, if you look at the Kino der Toten portrait of Richtofen, you can see that white patch very clearly. If you look at his model on something like Ascension, for example, you can see the white patch very clearly. And I even hit up my friend Lucas, or Fruckbat, and he provided this really nice looking image of Richtofen from The Giant. And as you can see, without his hat on, he's very clearly got that lighter patch on the side, or rather on each side of his head. And that's exactly what we see in the zombie head model, the severed head in Mob of the Dead. Which poses the question, do we look into this as being storyline significant in any way, shape, or form? Can we go there? The fact that this is something that was going to be in the game. This is a very real thing. This is not something that's just been magicked up out of thin air. It's not a mod or anything like that. This was literally in the official files of Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's Treyarch material, but it was obviously not available in Mob of the Dead cell block. Instead, they just didn't use it, right? So do you think we should look into this and say, well, I mean, it really does look like Richtofen's head because he does have those light patches on the side of the head and the facial bone structure as well. Those cheekbones are really very Richtofen-esque. I'm sure you have to agree. And so what could this mean? Why would Jason, back during Mob of the Dead, have thought that something like this could have been necessary for cell block grief, or could have been a fun thing to add in terms of storyline? Or why might Jason have thought that it would be a cool idea at first, but then why might he have changed his mind and decided that it had to go? It's really interesting to me. It's intriguing that this could be a Richtofen head, a severed Richtofen head no less, that is chomping at you and trying to bite the player. I mean, it's just exciting to me, even though there is a very good chance that this was cut because of whether it might have been like a budget thing or a time thing, a resource thing, or maybe it just didn't work with the story that Jason wanted to tell. I still think that it's really fun to think about the possibilities here. Why would Richtofen have had his head cut off in the first place? Could this be related to the guillotine from Buried? We know that Richtofen takes a trip to Buried to meet up with the Buried characters to then go on a quest to secure the Chronorium. And so if they then looped back and that Richtofen had his head cut off on that guillotine or something, and then he ended up at Mob of the Dead somehow, or just the head did at least? Honestly, this is more me just talking about a fun idea rather than something that I think has definitely happened or anything like that. This is just complete speculation and I guess a little bit of dreaming in there as well, but I love doing it. I think it's so enjoyable to just think about the possibilities for stuff like this. So hopefully you liked the video. If you did, then leave a like and also drop a comment and let me know if you'd like me to get this weapon ported into Black Ops 3, seeing as we now have Black Ops 3 mod tools. I could legitimately try and find someone to bring this head into Black Ops 3, which would be awesome, so let me know if that's something that you would like to see. Other than that though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.